All right, I'm going to show you how to make the world's best old fashioned. First, a few ingredients, right? You need some simple syrup, but not store-bought. It's got to be homemade, and you got to use brown sugar. So that's what this is right here. You've got a cup of what was hot water and 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, okay? You don't want it to be so hot when you're using it though, so let it sit in the fridge for 24 hours or so, or a couple hours at least, because you don't want the hotness of that to melt your ice, okay? All right, so get yourself a nice, decent sized glass, and then you gotta put the ice in it, okay? This ice is pre-formed. I like the pre-formed cubes. Get one whatever shape you like, square, round, whatnot. Okay, step 1, easy, right? Okay, next thing is you're gonna need your choice of bourbon. I've been on an Angel's Envy kick lately. I like it a lot, but whatever bourbon you like, okay? That's obviously the main ingredient, okay? So we're gonna top this thing off. For a glass that's this size, I'll probably fill it up right to almost the top of the ice cube, okay? Not quite, but almost, all right? All right, then we're gonna put our simple syrup in. Just a little bit, leave a little room at the top of that glass. Okay, the next ingredient that you need for an old fashioned is gonna be bitters, okay? Now, a little bit of bitters goes a really long way. So you don't want to put too much bitters in an old fashioned. A lot of restaurants really mess this up and they'll put too much bitters in it and it doesn't taste right, okay? Now you can get classic bitters, you can get just different kinds, right? We've got orange bitters, you can even get chocolate bitters if you're a huge chocolate fan. I don't really prefer those too much. A really good one that's not overpowering is a toasted pecan, all right? And really, honestly, you only need 2 drops. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's really all you're gonna need of that, all right? Okay. Next thing you're gonna want for your old fashioned is gonna be your cherry, all right? Now here's the deal. If you go to a restaurant or a bar and you order an old fashioned and you get these, right? You need to ask for your money back and you just tell them to throw those in the trash because those are no good, all right? Those bright colored red maraschino cherries, those go on like ice cream sundaes for kids that are like 3, not for a grown adult old fashioned drink, okay? The only cherries that I'll use in old fashioned are gonna be the dark cherry, Luxardo cherry, okay? Now, this is what they look like. They're not cheap, but they're worth it, all right? These things are gonna change your life. And they're not paying me to say that, at least not yet. Okay, now, you can go 1 cherry or 2, all right? Just kind of depends on what you want. But since we've got homemade simple syrup that doesn't have a whole lot of sugar like you might see from the store, I put a little bit of cherry juice in, okay? Maybe just a couple of tiny scoops, all right? And this is just a Maker's Mark stir that I'm using there, all right? All right, so you've got your bourbon, your simple syrup. It's homemade with our brown sugar, our Luxardo cherry. All right, next thing we need, it's got our bitters in there, okay? Next thing we need is our orange garnish, okay? You can use a regular orange. This is a smaller one, doesn't really matter. All right, and I'm just gonna cut into it a little bit. And I like to put just, maybe 4 or 5 drops of orange right on top, okay? That's usually pretty good to do that. And then I'm gonna take this garnish and I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this orange peel, okay? And you do 2 things with it, right? You just kind of squeeze a little aroma out over the top and then you line the rim of the glass and you can put that in there, okay? All right, now, a lot of people would stop right there and they say, hey, that's an old fashioned, right? Looks pretty good. Yep, you can take it down like that. However, we're not gonna do anything halfway, okay? We're gonna go all the way with this thing. All right, and this is why all my friends line up for these things. Every time we have a get together, they all want more of these deals, right? So, hey, make me another old fashioned, right? And this is what really makes it stand out. It's a smoker kit, okay? So you can get these smoker kits on Amazon, you can choose whatever kind of wood you want, all right? And I'm gonna choose this apple wood today for this one, all right? But there's pear, there's walnut, there's all different kinds you can get. You can try different ones, all right? All right, so we're gonna go with this apple wood. You just put it right there in that little mesh, that wire mesh strainer looking thing. And then you're gonna light this sucker on fire. So we're gonna give it a heavy dose of smoke, all right? And this is what really locks in these flavors, okay? From the bourbon to the bitters, it brings it all together. You probably have ordered one of these before at a restaurant or maybe a high-end bar, and if they do it right, then they're gonna taste pretty good, okay? But if they mess it up, it doesn't taste very good, all right? Okay, let's hit this for a second or two. Cap it. You can see that smoke is sort of sitting on top of the liquid, and that's what we want. All right, oh, that smells so good. Okay, and then you present it like this. All right, now there you go. Cheers, enjoy. That's how you make a real old fashioned.